movement, faithfulness to the ideology which our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has put in place for our movement and for the restoration of the sovereign nation of Biafra. And of course, faithfulness to that ideology that will emancipate us from the servitude that we have found ourselves in the zoo at the moment. And then following up, I talked about loyalty. I spoke about loyalty, those who belong to this family. And I said that we must search our hearts and minds, and we must inquire within us if our loyalty to the leader of this movement is unquestionable. And in talking about loyalty, I also talked about discipline. And great Biafrans, we have seen that there are many of us. What we went through at the time when our leader was just 1 year away without any communication. Many fell by the wayside because they were not faithful. Many fell by the wayside because they were not loyal. And many more fell by the wayside because they were not disciplined. And we fast forward to this very moment, 2021. I wanted to remind Biafrans of importance of adhering faithfully to these fundamental principles, these guiding objectives, these ideologies upon which the foundation of this movement and upon our struggle is built upon. I wanted to remind Biafrans, especially family members of the indigenous people of Biafra, that these are key for us to continue to maintain and to continue to have the fire burning. Today, we have seen that those who are not faithful, those who are not loyal, those who are not disciplined, are once again revealing themselves and their hands. Now, what we must not fail to do is that those who are called, those of us and those of you who believe that you are a hardcore IPOB family member, you have demonstrated your faithfulness by remaining faithful to the core principles of this movement. You have demonstrated your hardcoreness by remaining loyal and disciplined to the leader of this very movement, because there is no two leaders in this movement. We do not have two captains. It is only one and one person alone. And the structure that he put in place is the structure upon which we are marching relentlessly towards our goal, which is a sovereign, independent Biafran nation. I want to ask you today, are you consistent? Are you consistent in carrying out your duties? Are you consistent in your faithfulness and loyalty? Because if you're not consistent, you may become a victim like those who fell by the wayside. Therefore, absolute commitment is required of all of us. Absolute commitment to the principles of this movement. Absolute commitment to our responsibilities as principal officers and our responsibilities as IPOB family members. Because without commitment, we also might not be able to move ahead and continue on the path that is clearly and visibly laid for us by Onyendu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. If you are a principal servant, if you are an IPOB family member, these four words must be constantly before you. You must remain faithful. You must remain loyal. You must remain committed to this struggle. And you must be consistent in all that we do. And of course, above all, discipline is a key factor for us to carry out our functions and for us to obey and carry out instructions duly passed down to us by our superiors, and at this hour by the Directorate of State of the Indigenous People of Biafra. This institution, which people who came before have tried all they could, all that is in their power to destroy. This institution, the DOS, has remained faithful. We have remained loyal. We have remained committed, and we are consistent in carrying out those functions, those duties and responsibilities that are inherent in that institution, and of course that are made for us to continue to hold this family together and move it ahead and move it forward, not allowing anything to distract our objectives, which, as I always say, our objectives are very, very simple, and they are not too many. They are just one. The immediate objective we have, and of course the long-term objective that we also have. The leader of this movement must be released. It does not matter the shenanigans, it does not matter the delay. The leader of this great movement, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, must be released by the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. They must release him. And they must release him very, very quickly. They must release him unconditionally, because this son of Elohim has committed no crime. This son of Chukwukabiyama is only asking for what belongs to us. Self-determination is not a crime, neither is it a call for war. Self-determination is a right enshrined in the charters of both the United Nations and the African Union. And not only that, they are enshrined in these documents. The zoo itself, the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, in 1983 to be precise, they domesticated these international bodies, charters on the right of indigenous people of Biafra for self-determination. Therefore, I will call upon all those who have remained faithful and loyal that you must add consistency to that, and you must continue to be committed to your duties. We know that the zoo have one objective. They have one agenda. And I said it on one or two occasions that they are focused on believing that they can disrupt or destroy the basis or the foundation of this movement. They believe that they can manipulate in any way that they thought possible the leadership of this great movement. But I want to tell them and I want to assure them that they failed in 2015. They failed in 2017, 2018. And they will fail as well, hopelessly, in this 2021 because the leadership that Onyendu has put in place, the Directorate of State will be unwavering in our pursuit of our freedom. We will be unwavering in implementing the already drawn out plan by our leader, which plan draws us closer and nearer to our freedom. We know that there are issues emanating from IPOB family in the United States of America. I want to say very quickly to the IPOB woman leader, and I want to make it very open here so that everybody will hear me, that IPOB, if you say that you are a member, a family member, better said, if you see yourself as a family member of the indigenous people of Biafra led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you do not adhere to the principles of this movement, then I want to tell you that you are in a wrong place. You are in a wrong place because anybody who thinks that they can come in whatever nomenclature to try and hijack this movement, that person has never been born. And like our leader said, it will take you decades to even, get to the structure of this movement, and take you double, much more, a century, more than a century, to think you can shake the foundation of this movement. Therefore, Mrs. Bridget Okafor, who is the IPOB woman leader, you must pay attention. You are the IPOB woman leader USA. And if you do not take charge of IPOB women USA, then that means you do not desire, you do not, you're not qualified to be in that position. If you allow people to use that umbrella, IPOB women, to try to disorganize or infiltrate this movement, I am saying it this very day, the 24th of September 2021, you must put your act together and show leadership. Because if you are in this movement as an IPOB family member, then you must follow the structure that is laid down. You must follow the directive that is passed on to you. You cannot be an island on your own. It cannot happen in IPOB. It cannot happen in IPOB. If after tonight's broadcast and the IPOB woman leader does not take charge of IPOB women group in USA, and make sure that they are in tune with our objectives, that they are following the principles that guide this movement, that they are committed and loyal to the leader of this movement and to the structures he put in place. I will tell you now that I, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will disband IPOB Women USA. Let that sink in now. Nobody can come here under IPOB women and tell us that they are Biafran women all over the... That cannot happen. If you want to be Biafra women, you can be Biafran women to fight for Biafra. We have no problem with that. We can encourage you. But as long as you have brought yourself into this family under the leadership of Onyendu, and Onyendu who made IPOB women, because we know, going back in history, we know what happened to those who gathered themselves also as IPOB women, and they left their objective and started to pursue something different. And we also know what happened to them. Now, I'm telling you now tonight that if you, Mrs. Bridget, do not take charge and control of IPOB USA and ensure that they are in tune with what we are doing, if you allow that people will come from outside and come into IPOB women to begin to dictate to you what will happen or what will not happen. If you allow yourself to listen to the fact that now Umuada has risen up, Biafra Umuada has risen up, and all that goes with that. Here is not Umuada meeting, and here is not Umuna meeting. This is a freedom fighting outfit. This IPOB is a freedom fighting outfit. It is a movement that is fighting for the restoration and emancipation of our dignity and, of course, of our heritage. I will not belabor this matter, but I believe and I hope that the message is very clear. The message is very, very clear. Once again, we must not underrate our enemy, because the zoo, as Onyendu said, and as we are all aware, they are awash. They are awash with funds and funds that are generated from resources in our own land. They are awash with funds which they can afford to distribute to those who are willing and ready to be tools in their own evil plan. And we have been hearing and seeing people going about making false videos and false allegations. I wish to state clearly and unequivocally that the Eastern Security Network do not operate account either in Biafra land or in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. We cannot be that stupid. We cannot operate an account in the zoo where we know that the enemies, their eyes is everywhere, or their eyes are everywhere. We cannot operate an account for our security outfit in the territory of our enemy, either be it in the zoo or even in our own land, Biafra land, because we know that they have those who collaborate with them. ESN operates its account only in the diaspora. And those who are going about making peddling falsehood, this must be disregarded because they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing because people are saying that their objective is to do what? Their objective is to starve IPOB of funds. Their objective is to discredit the leadership. Their objective is to create chaos. But what is coming for them they will not be able to understand it by the time it hits them. Therefore, you are a principal officer. You are a principal officer and you allow yourself to be deceived. You, of course, will be held accountable for allowing yourself to be in any manner deceived by anybody. I wish to state that those who are in the United States of America, especially the principal officers, who have shown their hand, who have come out openly by action and by words to say that they do not recognize the structure that Oyendu put in place, I want to tell you that we are not here in a moonlight game or moonlight play. You do not have a place here. You do not have a place in IPOB. And having said that, we are going to make some announcement as it concerns the changes that we have in the United States of America. Very, very important change that we are making in USA and of course in Canada. IPOB is divided into 4 region time zones in USA. And the regional coordinator for IPOB USA Central Region, Mazi Nnamdi, has in words and action shown that he does not belong with us. He does not owe his loyalty to Onyendu. He is not faithful, he is not consistent, and he is not committed. Therefore, Mazi Nnamdi, beginning immediately from tonight, ceases to be IPOB USA Central Regional Rep. In his place, we have a new USA Central Regional Representative, and his name is Mazi Samson Enyinaya Eme Mando. Mazi Samson Enyinaya Eme Mando. Eme Mando. I beg your pardon, I hope I get it correctly. Eme Mando is our new IPOB USA Central Regional Rep, and with immediate effect. In Canada, also, we have regions in Canada, and the Canada-Ontario Rep, Mazi Onyeka, has equally shown that he is not faithful, he is not loyal, he is not disciplined. He cannot continue to be called a principal servant of this great movement. Therefore, Mazi Onyeka, formerly of IPOB Ontario Regional Rep, is no longer our regional rep in Ontario. And a new rep will be announced in a memo that I will bring out tomorrow. A new rep will be announced in a memo that I will bring out tomorrow. Also, in the United States of America, we have a media and publicity secretary for IPOB USA. A media and publicity secretary for IPOB USA. And he goes by the name Chibike Omunna. Chibike Omunna will take up the task of properly informing the public, not only IPOB family members, not only Biafran, but the generality of the people in USA informing them about issues concerning this very great movement, and informing them about our march to freedom. Of course, we know that we have a very, very important alliance with the Ambazonian people. Biafrans must pay attention. Very, very important. We have a very important alliance with the Ambazonian people, who are also suffering under the oppression of the Cameroonian government, as we are suffering under the oppression of the Zoological Republic of Nigerian government. But fortunately for the Ambazonians, they will be celebrating their Independence Day on February. The Ambazonian people will be celebrating their Independence Day on 1st of October. And I want to inform Biafrans worldwide, especially in the diaspora especially, that if our brothers, the Ambazonian people, extend the invitation to them for their event, they should please honor that event in ensuring that our relationship is deepened and that our alliance remains unshakable. And in Biafra land, the zoo themselves said that they will be celebrating their 1st of October, their independence on 1st of October. But I want to say this very evening that on that very day, 1st of October, there shall be no movement in Biafra land. We will show the zoo that we have repudiated them. On the 1st of October, this very year, 2021, we must show the zoo that we have rejected every vestiges of the authority over us. And not only that, we are going to have a sit at home, a complete lockdown of the whole of Biafra land. We must begin from this very night to remove every flag of the zoo that is found anywhere in Biafra land must be brought down. Every flag that symbolizes the servitude, the slavery that we are that we have been put into. Every flag of the zoo which symbolizes the oppression and the presence of the enemy in our land must be brought down from this night going forward. It does not matter where it is, with exception, one exception, my dear people. One exception, because we know the enemy and we know what they do, we know how they think. We think ahead of them. One exception, and that exception is that in bringing down the zoo flag, nobody, and I repeat, nobody must interfere or go to any bank to bring the zoo flag down. That must not be done, because what the enemy will do is that they will go and rob a bank and they say, yes, these are IPOB people because they gave them the instruction to go and bring flags down, and then they will rob a bank. I want to repeat that every place, whether it is government office, government quarters, or governor's office, whatever it may be, secretariats, any institution, any organization, any company that mounted the zoo flag, which symbolizes only one thing, oppression of the enemy in our midst, that company, that institution, that organization must bring it down, or else we shall bring it down ourselves. And with the exception, I want you to repeat, with the exception of banks, do not go to any bank to remove the flags. We will communicate with the banks ourselves and tell them of the importance of their removing and bringing down any zoo flag in their premises. We will communicate with them. Therefore, this instruction and this directive exempts the bank for now. We know that the plan of the zoo and their co-travelers and workers with equity, the intelligence report that we have received is that they are planning, they are considering, they are contemplating whether or not to bring Onyendu to court on the 21st of October. And I want to tell them that if they try for any reason, and on the 21st of October, our leader is not brought to court, because they said they have charges against him. Okay, we accept. You have charges against him, fine. You want to bring him to court, fine. And he is healthy, he is okay to come to court, therefore you must bring him to court on the 21st of October next month. Failing which, Ndiefulefu must listen now. The politicians, you must hear us, so that you will not say that you were not informed, you were not told. If our leader is not brought to court on the 21st of October, we will lock down Biafra land non-stop for 1 month and going forward. And if after that 1 month they still do not bring him for us to see that our leader is well and healthy, we shall declare an indefinite lockdown of the whole of Biafra land. And we want to tell the politicians to challenge us, and they will see that we are not here for any games and we are not here for play. Biafrans all over the world, like Onyendu is always having us in his prayers, we must continue as well to have him in our prayers. We must continue to have Wachineke in our prayers. We must continue to seek the face of heaven. We must continue to call those of us who are religiously inclined, be it Christian or Judaism, the Judeo-Christian faith which is well established in Biafra land. You must continue to put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in your prayers. And those who believe in Ordinana, those who follow the ways of our ancestors, you must pour libations to our ancestors to continue to put our leader in prayer and for our ancestors to continue to guide him and preserve and protect him. And of course, to bring him out to us sooner than later. In doing this, therefore, our reading of the Psalms and our supplication to Elohim continues until we have reached the 150 Psalms that the Bible contains. Of course, Mazi Jonathan has already said here that our FM in Igbocha is back on air. Let me read it to you. That we are doing all that we can do to ensure that most of our FM stations that are down, that they will be up and running as soon as possible. Our FM in Igbocha is back on air 102.1. 102.1 is where those in Igbocha and its surroundings will get the Radio Biafra broadcasts. And let me say, finally, I want to commend the Biafran people from my heart. The bottom of my heart, I want to commend the Biafran people, especially Biafrans in the homeland, Biafrans in Biafra land, I want to commend you. And why do I want to commend you? I want to commend you because for you and for all of us, we have come to realize the importance of freedom. For you, we have come to realize the importance of liberation. We have come to realize the importance of we as a people being able to use the talents that Chukwokike has given to us and our children for the betterment of our people and for the betterment of humanity. And IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra leadership, we initiated a weekly sit at home. We initiated it and the Biafran people responded enthusiastically. They responded with all their hearts, with all their energy, and with all their will. And even though that the leadership has again come to suspend that sit at home monthly and weekly sit at home, the Biafra people have continued to show what I was talking about when I said faithfulness and loyalty, consistency and commitment and discipline in this very struggle. Who cannot commend your efforts? Who cannot commend when you have now understood that what we are pursuing is not that we shall have our stomach filled today, but then that our children will live in an oppressive and subjugating environment. That you have continued despite the fact that IPOB leadership had said that this weekly monthly sit at home is suspended. I salute your courage. I salute the courage of the average Biafrans, market women, traders, transporters, all manner of walks of life, artisans, just name it. Mama put sellers, women who do not vegetable sellers in the market, women who earn their living through the petty trade that they do. But they have more commitment. They have shown more faithfulness and loyalty to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They have shown consistency and discipline that each week they will willingly, without any compulsion, they will lock down their business places. The school children, their parents will tell them to stay at home because what we are fighting is for you, our children. And they will stay at home. That is commendable. And I want to tell you this evening that the leadership of IPOB commend that singular act of faithfulness and loyalty. I want to tell you this evening that the Directorate of State of the Indigenous People of Biafra want to commend your act of consistency. And there is nothing that anybody can say when you have seen that the people themselves have said, okay, yes, you are our leaders, you give us instructions, we respect that, but we have taken it upon ourselves to make more sacrifices that our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, must be released. IPOB cannot anymore, in any manner, tell you not to do that which you have chosen to do. It is only commendation that we can only give to you. And I wish to repeat I wish to repeat, and because this is very important, that the 1st of October this very year shall not abroad. Not even a goat must be seen outside. Not a cockroach, not a fowl must be seen outside. This is the time that the world must see, because while we are sitting at home on the 1st of October is to tell the whole world that we have in spirit and in the physical realm rejected the zoo. We have rejected Nigeria. Our ancestors, the land of Biafra, has rejected Nigeria. And once we have rejected them, we will go further and remove every vestige of the oppressive presence in our land. I wanted to repeat this so that it sinks in, and that our people understand that this leadership, we are marching forward ahead. We cannot be distracted. We cannot be, the enemy cannot set our agenda for us. The enemy cannot set our agenda for us, because that is what they are trying to do. They want us to begin to focus on the distraction that they will be, breaking out here and there. But we are focused, and we are marching ahead in accordance with the plan that we have to make sure we reach our objective, to make sure we achieve our objective, to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Hamadike, the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, is with us sooner than later. I want to thank all of you for listening this very evening. I want to commend those who are doing marvelously well in your respective core duties and responsibilities. You must continue with that path, because victory is assured, because we will not relent in any manner. While you're doing all that you're doing, please be at alert. Be at alert, and do not let the trappings of money deceive you. Because if you sell your birthright, the blessings that comes with your birthright will be given to another person. May Elohim guide and preserve each and every one of you. May Chukwukabiyama, upon whom all glory and honor belongs, may he continue to guide you properly. May he continue to imbue you with his spirit, the spirit of discipline, the spirit of loyalty, the spirit of faithfulness, of consistency, and of course of commitment to our core principles and objectives. I ask that heaven shall guide and be with our ESN warriors. Onyendu has raised the flag, and I want to tell you that the flag will not come down until Biafra is restored. I want to repeat it here now. The flag has been raised, whether the enemy likes it or not. The flag has been raised. Whether the politicians in the zoo like it or not, the flag has been raised, and it will not come down until we achieve our freedom and create an enabling environment for our children to develop their talents, and for our children to, of course, grow in dignity and also in honor, as other children are doing in civilized nations. Thank you once again I will be bringing a memo on the changes that we have in Canada and on the changes that we have in IPOB USA Central Region. And let me warn, we are not laughing at it. If you are a principal officer, search your heart, search your mind, search your soul. If you cannot continue to obey the structure or follow the structure that has been put in place by you, the honorable thing for you to do is to put in your big decision, and we will willingly and happily welcome that. If you feel that you cannot follow instructions, please put in your destination. Otherwise, you will be removed on air, like I have just done this very evening. Any coordinator, every coordinator, from the continental rep down to the unit coordinators, this message is for all of us. And I pray that Chukwokike shall, of course, give you the strength that will allow you not to fall by the wayside. I pray that Elohim will give you the strength that will allow you not to fall victim. I pray that Elohim will give you the strength to say no when they come knocking at your door, compromise you, or to deceive you. Biafra, we say, is not just a country that was, according to the late Professor Chino Alumogo. Biafra, for us, is not just me. Biafra is our heritage. Biafra is our religion. And only to Chukwuabiama, the creator of heaven and earth, to him alone belongs all worship, and it is only to him that the children of light, that the Biafran people, that the great IPOB family, it is only to Chukwuokike that we bow down. And it is only him that we fear. Not man, not woman, not anyone that is born of woman, or not anything that is created. It is to Chukwuokike that we bow down, and it is only to him that we have fear. And this very moment, we are marching fearlessly to our destination. Therefore, may Elohim be with you all this night. May Elohim be with you all this morning. May Elohim be with you all this afternoon, depending on your time. And I want to say to you, from me, from here, it is good night. And thank you so much for listening.
Another Savior, holy, 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 another Savior, another Savior, holy, holy, another Savior, holy, 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 another Savior, another Savior, holy, 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 holy. Well, this is Mobiel. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPOB families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight. And they were singing out, holy, 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 holy. is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Iyomadika, Yabika, Kokwanam, no, hey, when I'm singing, holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving faster now. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right, holy, Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior.